Lindsay, Louie, and I'm a program officer in the Effective Philanthropy Group at the William and Flora Hewlett Foundation. I'm going to talk today a little bit about site visits. Site visits can be a really important part of the due diligence process in grant making, of how you get to know an organization and assess their fit for one of your funding opportunities. In my experience with donors and foundations, site visits can be an incredibly powerful part of the due diligence process, whether they result in a grant or not, because they involve going out to meet folks who are passionate about their work, doing really important things in our community to address really challenging and intractable problems. So you'll often hear folks say, the site visit was my favorite part of the due diligence, or that site visit was transformational for me. And that's always exciting. That's always exciting to see. I want to offer 5 key sort of points for success. The first is to be really mindful of the power dynamic at work. This is true throughout due diligence, but particularly with a site visit, between the funder and the potential grantee. You're the one with the money, they're the one who needs the money. That power dynamic is real, it's there, and I think it's better to just know it and own it and consider the dynamics than to forget and do something irresponsible or to brush it under the rug, that sort of thing. So be really mindful of the power dynamic. Point number 2, related to the power dynamic, is to set really clear expectations with the grantee or potential grantee about where you're at in your due diligence process and how a site visit fits into that process. Is this your first step, considering a number of organizations and it will be quite a while before they hear more? Or is this really a last step and you're down to just 1 or 2? Or even is this a situation where a site visit is almost synonymous with a grant? The third point I would make for successful site visits is to be meticulous about the details. Whether you have 60 minutes or 120 minutes, a site visit tends to go by really fast, and it's critical that folks know where to go, they know to be on time, they know how the time is supposed to be spent. If you can be meticulous about all the details up front, you'll save yourself valuable time and headaches and so forth, and you can focus those precious minutes on what you're there to learn with that organization. The fourth point I would make as a key to success is to let the organization know as much as you can what you're hoping to get out of the visit. So what expectations do you have about who you're going to meet, what you're going to observe on the visit, what you're hoping they'll address, any specific questions that you have. Maybe you've already read materials or a proposal. The more you can prep them for that, the more they can be responsive. The fifth point I would make, and this is really important, is make sure you know who from the funder is going to help keep things on track. If things aren't going according to expectations, if for some reason the time does change, maybe somebody who's really important to the visit can't come till later, you need to end early, they've had a program change, make sure you know who from the funder team is really logistically in charge and able to say, hey, it turns out we only have 20 minutes, let's focus on this. Or I'd love to allow 10 more minutes to watch the program, we're really getting a lot out of this. Otherwise, you may find yourself in a situation where everyone's looking at one another wanting to make the change and nobody knows to make it. 5 key things that I hope will make for really successful site visits, and do enjoy them. It's a really neat part of the philanthropic sector.